peace in Pan-Africanism. Let's check if today we're having any issues with the live link. Let's check if today we're having any issues with the live link. Peace in Pan-Africanism. Peace in Pan-Africanism, peace in Pan-Africanism. Let's hope today everything is in order. You know that YouTube sabotages me 24 hours. YouTube sabotages me 24 hours, but today YouTube is on point. YouTube is on point. Peace in Pan-Africanism. Peace in Pan-Africanism to all my African brothers and sisters. Thank you so much for joining. Members of the Pan-African Parliament. Thank you so much, guys, for joining in. As we are still waiting for the other members to come in. Make sure if you are part of this discussion that you are African. This is a discussion for Africans present. Tolisa, you came before me today. It's me who's a few minutes late. I was busy with the video about Jacob Zuma visiting the African church. People were busting my WhatsApp like nobody's business. King, respond to this. King, respond to this. People wanting to know what is my opinion on that visit of Jacob Zuma. So that was something that was very interesting. So before we continue, can we do the technical checks? Are we audible? Are we audible? Are we audible? Are we visible? Are we audible? Are we visible? The normal technical checks, guys. Are we audible? Are we visible? Audio, is it okay? Visuals are always a problem. I think this is the last week I'm going to have problems with visuals because I'm just going to get a camera and connect it to my laptop and start going live with my laptop, and that's what I want to do from now on. Thank you so much, Kosana. It says everything is in order. It's buffering on my other phone. Don't know why. I can hear and see you, King. Thank you so much, Lawrence. King, how are you doing? Oratile. I'm Oratile. I'm blessed, my queen. I'm blessed. There's no issues. No issues. I can't wait for a holiday. I'm going for a holiday next week. To go and see my grandmother, so I can't wait to be in Mpumalanga, Pretoria, and Limpopo. I can't wait. My family is spread into those three provinces: Mpumalanga, Limpopo, and Gauteng province. So I am spread in between those provinces. So let me just refresh. Don't go anywhere. Let me just refresh. King, how are you doing? Great job. Thank you so much. Visual is, you don't know what type of stress these visuals are giving me. You don't know what type of stress these visuals are giving me. Safe travel and much love to Antonio. Yeah, you know where to. I had to buy new tires for my car. Tomorrow the car is going in for service. Just imagine, just going home costs more than, okay, the petrol from here to home is nothing less than 2 grand. 2 grand is sufficient for me to get home, and another 2 grand for me to come back. So that's 4,000 rand. That's without what you spend on the road with the wife and the children. You have to spend a lot of money in this, in the, you know how people just eat nonsense in the road. The only thing I do is drink liquids when I drive. I don't eat when I drive, because when I eat, it's my metabolism is slow, so I get sleepy. So I will only eat once I get in Pumalang. And my grandmother, I have to take care of her for that 1 week that I'm there, taking care of her, driving up and down and trying to spread myself, see some family. There's some fans also, that the YouTube channel fans that are that side, that's a King, when you're this side, holla at us, let us talk and all of that. So you find yourself spending about six to 7,000 rand only on petrol. Bafet, life is not fair. Life is not fair. Life is not fair. How are you doing, King? Are we doing a great job? Safe travels. Hello. Thank you so much. Thank you so much, my Pan-African brothers and sisters. We've got a lot to talk about today. We've got a lot to talk about. I mean, so many things are happening at the same time, and we have to constantly remind ourselves with this Pan-Africanist goal that we have. Eddie from Big Eddie from Northwest is here. Hello, King. Try test. It's cheaper. I refuse with my life, man. I refuse with my life. No, man. Eddie, stop it, my brother. Stop it. Wish for me great things, man. Wish for me money, not a test, man. Not a test. So yes, I'm rocking. I'm rocking I'm rocking the Pan-Africanist t-shirt. This is the t-shirt that I'll be giving away for next month to people like Bo Eddie. Eddie must get. Eddie, you've got my email. Eddie Northwest, you're not too far. Some of you, I can drive and drop this thing from US. I'm on my way. Eddie, t-shirts. Eddie, I'm gonna write my email on the comment section. You stop wishing me nonsense and wish me good things, man. I need 4 pipes, man. I need 4 pipes, my brother. I need 4 pipes to a point where petrol is no longer an issue. I cannot be struggling like this, my brother. I can't be struggling like this. Eddie Northwest. And Nkosana, well, I can't give everyone that asks for a t-shirt, but Nkosana, it's fine. I'm writing your name. Please, someone else, don't ask. I will just choose, guys, as I'm writing here. As I'm writing, Nkosana. Nkosana. Madonna. Okay, Nkosana, you'll get a t-shirt also, don't worry. I think that is almost everyone that is into you. King, tell us, bro, what's your take on what transpired at Kwangeza with regard to Zuma disrespecting our prime minister? Gases. I will hold my front in Kenya if the need arises. We must be united under whatever circumstances. Yes, that is true. That is true so much. Ladies and gentlemen, that's another thing that I had on my agenda. This Duma, what he did to the prime minister of the Zulu Kingdom. The nerve of that man. And if you are following my channel, you see I don't report about Isulu la Mazulu. I don't report on what is going on there because even though I've got a lot of information and a lot of background that I know about the Zulu Kingdom, I just chose not to dwell too much into it, because if I touch onto it and then I have to then make sure that I I touch into all the kingdoms. Let me write my email for the two gentlemen of the t-shirts, Eddie and Nkosana, uh, before I forget. Send me a gentleman email, and I'll make sure that I give you my number so we can communicate on how you will get the t-shirts. You will get the t-shirts when we reach that 20,000 subscribers. So it might be next week or it might be next month. I don't know when are we going to get those 20,000 subscribers. It's a dream come true, I won't lie to you. So what happened in the Zulu Kingdom? You're the nerve, man. Yo, guys, I can't explain to you how important a prime minister is. And when you're speaking about Buthelezi, the late Buthelezi, how respected he was in that role that he played. And now you've got a new prime minister that when he speaks, a mere chairperson of a political party can go and grab the mic from him speaking, and then it ended up causing people to be attacked and beaten up in such a manner where it was not necessary. For me, it was King will soon get in the YouTube silver plate. I don't even know what number I must get for silver plate or gold or anything. I'm a never mind YouTuber. I just enjoy doing what I'm doing. As long as I'm here speaking, by God's grace, YouTube still allowing us to have a word and educate each other and whatever. The growth, I never thought I will even get to 1,000 subscribers. When I got to 5,000, I was like, oh my goodness, what is going on here? When we got to 10,000, for me, it was a highlight of the year, and that was in the beginning of this year. I think I got 10,000 in January. So it was like just the sky is the limit. Started believing in this Pan-Africanism thing even more. And then when I went into a deep fast that I usually go into every year from the beginning of the year, from the first of the year to the 12th day of the year, I don't eat. So I go into this deep fasting. I even take my family away. I leave them at my wife's place, my wife's hometown in Kurman, and then I come here. I lock myself in the house, and I make sure that I don't eat for 12 days while seeking the face of God and praying for the things that I want in 2020, in 2024. And then that is where God placed this thing of this Paseta thing. That's where it was clear that there is a new mission that I must face, of building a school. I was like, oh my God, building a school. Once you reach 100,000 subscribers, you receive a silver plate. 100,000 subscribers, my goodness. 100,000 subscribers. Otherwise, my brother, I love your content. My goodness, you are a faith. Only God can take us there. Only God can take I'm starting a new YouTube channel in April, but that's a YouTube channel on how to help people monetize their small YouTube channels. So this 100,000 thing, it's not even in my mind, I promise you. My goodness, I'm aiming 30,000 for this year. I'm aiming at 30,000 for this year. I know this channel, when you had 10,000 subscribers, my goodness. It was I can remember when I got excited when I saw 100,000 people watching my video. I mean, not 100,000, 100,000 people. I was like, 100 people watching my video. I was explaining to my wife what 100 people are and where they will sit. Every time I'll go into shop, I mean Checkers, I would tell my wife, you know, in this whole Checkers, there's not even 100 people inside the shop. So we would laugh about that because for me, 100 seemed like a lot. But then Intlantla happened, and then my YouTube channel blew because of Intlantla King. Those numbers can come all in a single day. Yeah. Thank you for that belief, man. You're doing good so far. Keep pushing. 30,000 is very small, my brother. We will reach more than that. Well, you mean this year? Okay, let's hope. Let's hope. 30. So I hate searching YouTube, setting YouTube goals, especially with subscribers, because you don't know what people actually want. In the amount of people that you get, there's very few who are genuine in the pursuit. Others, they are following you just because they saw a certain video. Others, they like your voice. Others, they like what you said about the EFF, and once you say something bad about the EFF, they unsubscribe. Others, they like you because of controversies, and that's why on social media, especially on YouTube channels, when it comes to content creating, it's best that you keep to being yourself. That is the best advice I would give, because most of you, when you guys write comments on the comment sections, and I can see that these people banolwazi more than me in whatever topic you guys comment in. You guys will say, King, I think you are wrong with this. This is what happened. Or sometimes I get names wrong, say names wrong. Oh my goodness. Let me see what is going on now. Sometimes I get names wrong, and I get corrected real quick on the comment section, especially with dates. I get dates. I get dates wrong. They'll say no on this date and whatever. So you live and learn. You'll get there, but because this channel is all about facts and reality we face in daily. I disagree with you some stuff, but I love your genuine passion. Yet you are not fake personally. That's what I admire the most. Yeah, you to be not to be fake, Lawrence. But Lawrence, my email now send a skip manje. Let's finish this t-shirt thing. I think Lawrence, just tell me where you are from so I can remember here where you are from, my brother, so that you don't turn you. Cynthia, did you respond to my did we speak on WhatsApp, Cynthia? Because you getting a t-shirt also, ne? If I'm not lying, in Nelspruit. Cynthia, today I'm joining your family. I'm late, but I'm happy to be here. No, you are not late. We haven't started. Okay, Lawrence is in Josie. Okay, Lawrence in Josie. It's fine. You have the email on top, my brother. If you scroll, just send me an email, a WhatsApp, not a WhatsApp. Just send me an email. I'll send you my number so that we can contact each other there. And so many people have got my numbers now. I might as well write them here, because when a topic drops, like people are like, King, did you see what happened? You see it? And I'm like, yes, it's time to work. It's time to work. Okay, my Pan-African brothers and sisters, I'm getting disturbed every time I'm looking to the side because the picture is not clear on my other phone. Jesus, no Satan, no. Is the picture clear on your side? Please, when the picture is not clear, tell me, because there is a refresh button that I can press, and the picture becomes better after that. Okay. I did not WhatsApp yet, but I will WhatsApp you. Okay, no problem, my queen. Not clear. Okay, let me do that quickly. Thank you so much. Yeah, please just alert me when the picture is not clear so I can just refresh. Just alert me when the picture is not clear. Yeah, it's playing up. Just alert me. You know how what my struggles are. So once I believe from America, originally I think a South African who sent me some money to buy a camera. Better now. This thing. It's working on my nerves. I promise you. I can't focus because of this picture quality. It really works on my nerve because from what I'm seeing, it's getting worse and worse and worse. From side, I see clear. From side, Cynthia. From side, I see clear. What side, Cynthia? What side, Cynthia? What camera did you get? No, I'm getting a camera. I haven't got a camera yet. So I'll get the camera unless if you advise me. The main thing in your message is the message, bro. Keep going. Yeah, but when you don't see me, man, we are not listening to a radio station here, you know. Guys, really with picture quality, I don't want to compromise. I want to start at the key half. Yeah, anyway. Now I want to get into content. I want to get into content, and you hear me speaking a little bit in the video that you will get, but the sound is good. Yeah, but we can't be having a bad quality picture. Just give me a second, guys. We're gonna start now, and it's been 20 minutes. Keep on pressing this refresh button. Keep on pressing this refresh, and seeing how it comes back. I want to get into content and what it means, what content we consume and what it means to us. And the big key word that I want to tell you about content, especially on social media, on mainstream media, which is your TV, your radio, and all that, and content also consume from our friends also, even storytelling, verbal storytelling, oral storytelling is also a form of content that you consume. And now I wanted to say the important thing that I want us to take away from what we are consuming is that for every content there is an intent. There is an intent. It intends to do something when they are giving it to you. And we having issues that we as Africans, we failing to break down the proper content that is good for us. Now, when it comes to that, if you guys have been on my channel long enough, you would hear me speaking about the story of Yizo Yizo. Yizo Yizo was a very Yizo was a very explicit drama series, soapy, whatever you call it, that was playing on SABC One back in the days, and that content had an intent, and that intent was to affect and affect African children on how they think and how they behave. You understand what I'm saying? So it is very important that we also win this social media space into our hands. There has to be a black Facebook app. There has to be a black YouTube app. We have to own these spaces, because as long as we don't own this space, we don't control what is being what is being advertised and how our children are influenced from I'm noticing mannerisms from my child from watching Coco Melon. And remember, Coco Melon was also taken to court because they said it has even sexual explicit content on that app. They had big problems with some cases in the US. So Yizo was so impactful that when we got at school, children wanted to act like Papa Action, wanted to act like what you call Chester and everyone. A child will choose a character in the story and want to act like them. Now, with this current Zanzi magic nonsense that is going on, and I will speak for some years ago. Some of you would know that I stopped watching TV for 2 years now. I stopped watching TV. I don't have a TV. I don't have DSTV. I've been forced now by my wife. She's cornering me because of the elections. She wants to be informed because I get informed on YouTube. Anything I get is on YouTube. Everything I want is on my phone. But now, because of the elections, we have to watch. So for the first time, I'm going to buy a TV since we moved into our new home. This house has got no TV whatsoever. So it is very important for us to it is very important. Are we still together, my African brothers and sisters? Or is this thing starting again? Oh, Kosiam. Is this rubbish starting again? You know when you want to work, but the devil is also at work. Arr. You know when you want to work. You want to work, but the devil now is busy being at work, doing his nonsense. It's time to work now. It's time to work now. So, so it is important when you see how the black family is being displayed in these stories. Now, with children, they don't know how to filter information properly. So they see a slave queen, they see a person who sells her body and gets the money and is successful in 1, 2, and 3, and they change into that. They change into those type of things because they think that it is a faster way of getting results. You understand what I'm saying? So children, they don't know how to proper filter information. And some adults also, because we were never trained. Because remember, if you are not trained in school or when you are growing up, you cannot expect that you are going to be able to execute something. One of my great youth pastors years ago used to say, you cannot expect what you don't inspect. If you don't inspect something, don't expect a certain outcome out of it. So it is very important for us as Africans to look at the content that we are that is created for us, that we are consuming, and ask ourselves, is this content going to help us as Africans in any way, shape, or form? You understand? And now you find even adults, they would never mind reading a book. They don't even listen to audiobooks because now things are simple. You can listen to an audiobook. I can tell you, why don't you why don't you read a certain book, and you can download that book and find that there's an audio book. The DJ's book has got an audio version and all of that stuff. So it is important for us as Africans to realize what is happening because, guys, each and every year that passes away without an African unity, without Africans uniting, in South Africa, in SADC, in Africa, in America, everywhere. Each and every year that passes without us uniting, it becomes that much harder for us to unite. The process of a million miles starts with one step. As long as we don't take that first step to say we don't want this type of content. Okay, if we are being forced this type of content, we don't consume this content. Because remember, the reason why this content keeps on playing is because we are watching it. We are watching it. We like to see broken families. You hear people complaining about it, but you still see people watching their programs. So when the program does not get high ratings, the DSTV gets rid of that program. They don't give it season 2, they don't get it another episode, but we are watching these programs. So let me see, I hope I didn't I hope I did not hide the comments. So it is important for us to understand which content to consume. You understand, my African brothers and sisters? If we are really serious about being Pan-Africanist, then our way of life should slowly but surely get to a point where our daily discussions about is about Pan-Africanism. You know, when you get into Christianity, they tell you straight, change your friends. You leave your worldly, they call them worldly friends. Leave those people alone. They're going to influence you wrong. Start to group yourself with church members. This is how your life is going to change. But when it comes to Pan-Africanism, we don't apply the same analogy. Why is that? Why is that? And you will find that like fake Christians, you'll find that someone is a Christian, but on their statuses, you don't see that. On their WhatsApp statuses and Facebook statuses, you don't see anything. The way they talk, you don't see it. You just get surprised someone wearing a Basetta t-shirt to say, I am a Pan-Africanist. And you ask yourself, how is that possible? We have never heard you utter one word of Pan-Africanism or show any signs of unity when it comes to African people. So that is very important for us to take into consideration. Remember what the word is to say. For every content, there is an intent. What is the intent there? You understand? Look at what is happening now with South Africa and the Amapiano movement. The Amapiano movement is taking fire. It's like a wildfire that is infecting the whole of the country, and the whole of the world. Everywhere in the world, when you say Amapiano, people know that what you are talking about. Now imagine if that movement was a Pan-Africanist movement that talks about Africans uniting and Africans helping each other. It could be as simple as when you see an African, give him a hug. And that trends on TikTok, that trends on Facebook, that we as Africans, we give each other hugs. But remember, once you start saying that, other African cultures don't believe with hugging. They will think that you are transferring spirits and all of that. So, I'll come. Amahle says, very true. To change, you need to adopt the right attitude, and that will guarantee change. Yes. So I get worried. Okay, picture quality is gone, guys. Warn me with the picture quality, guys. Always warn me with the picture quality, please, my African brothers and sisters. So one thing that you will notice when it comes to other cultures that Africans do not have is they are patriotic with supporting and showing love to each other. Whether that is Islam people, whether it is Chinese people, whether it is Indian people, whether it is white people, Afrikaner people, you see these people are united against each other. You understand? You don't see people fighting in public. You don't see, but we as African, because of our colonization, we have made it fashionable to embarrass each other publicly. We have made it fashionable. Even when we fight on our families, when we have family issues. You see people putting that on social media, and you ask yourself, is these people all right? So if you cannot fix the family structure, first of all, how are we going to unite Africa? My African people, I need an answer. How are we going to unite Africans when even in your family we are failing to to communicate with each other? Sometimes I say, as a Pan-African, someone said, what I'm looking for in terms of Pan-Africanism and all of that is a wish. It will never happen. And I say this, we don't want a perfect situation in the world. Oh, picture quality. Picture quality. It's disturbing me, my African brothers and sisters. I won't lie. Something interfering with the podcast network. Yes, man. Something is really interfering with the podcast network. It's really interfering with the podcast network. Let me see if I switch on normal data. What will it do? Let me see if I switch on normal data, of which obviously normal data will run out quickly, more than your normal Wi-Fi data. Okay, better. Okay, is it better now, ladies and gentlemen? It disturbs my train of thought. I've switched on my normal data now, not using the Wi-Fi. Let's hope that will make it better. I don't know why it keeps on doing this. I don't know why it keeps on doing this. Nkosi is here. Nkosi is late. You see, it's still not working. It's still not working. Picture quality, network. I don't know what on earth. Don't know. I want to speak to my African people. I want to speak to my African people. I want to speak to my African people. I want to be clear as possible. The question is, how can we push this message into our community if it's overrun by European ignorance? Dumela Musa. Dumela Musa. Thank you. Now, the reason why we are building the school is because the school is one of the institutes that you use to change a community's behavior. The school is one of the institutes that you use to change community behavior. And in fact, the school is the best institute to use to change people's behavior. If you teach it, you can expect it. Out of every 10 students that you teach 1 + 1, you know about 7 of them will know what 1 + 1 is. So Pan-Africanism is not taught in schools. And Pan-Africanism does not have to be a subject. You just install it into every teacher that teach African unity in your classes, and you show them what type of signs to watch over. Sometimes when you see one child has got no shoes and the other children are laughing at the child because their pants are torn and whatever, and you teach them that if the whole class takes out 2 rand, we can buy pens for this child. That is the unity of Pan-Africanism. And you train the children at a small age to say, listen, we can help each other. This one child has got a problem with his school shoes. School shoes are 250. 250, we are about 40 in the class. We are about 40 in the class and if we take 200 250 divide by 40, we will all take out 6 rand. You understand what I'm saying? So if you teach African children that instead of laughing, have a solution. Instead of laughing, have a solution. If we take out 6 rand each, we can buy this child new pair of shoes that are 250 at Pep store. And then you will see the children will catch fire quickly. They will tell you, but Banbani does not have a bag. And then the movement starts moving like that. Then what you do, you just structurize that movement. You put a Sizwe as the president of the donation committee. You put Lerato as the secretary. You put Otando as, you just structurize that as a teacher, and you make sure these children understand that it needs to be structurized, it needs to be recorded somewhere, and you need to follow up and be transparent in everything that you do. So instead of laughing at that one child that does not have school pants or school shoes or a school bag, they do something. And if you can't get 6 rand from everyone in the class, you can extend it to the next class. You can extend it to the grade. And that becomes how we instill the spirit of Pan-Africanism slowly in our schools. So the school itself does not have to be a Pan-Africanist school, but the teacher has to have Pan-African principles that they can drive into our children, and that becomes easier. You understand? I think I told you guys some time ago, I think it was it last year? Yeah, it was last year when I met the class teacher of my child. I was like, oh my goodness, how did this person become a teacher? Clueless on how to manage children, who will make sure that the students or the teachers don't pocket some of that money like the government. Yeah, like I said, you see, once you ask that question, you stop the idea from initially starting. Understand? The person that must make sure, and we must never look for a perfect system, ever. There will never come a place and a time where there is a perfect system. Picture quality. 1 second. Picture quality. My goodness, it's really disturbing our flow. It's disturbing our flow. So when we come with an idea, say, why don't we move this box from point A to point B? And the first comment you have is, what if that box, when I pick it up, it breaks my back? You have eliminated yourself from being a participant in that movement. You understand? So as Africans, we are trained and taught to be negative first. Let me see. Are we still together, my African people? The other feed is late. Let me see what it does. Okay, the other feed is late on my phone, so it's 10 seconds late. So I'm looking there and I'm looking here. Sorry for that. So Quad Z says, well, who will make sure that the students or the teacher don't pocket some of the money like our government does? You understand? Oh, genuine people will do genuine things. And if let's say teacher is a corrupt person, we're hoping that in the process let's say the teacher collects the money and then eats the money, then gets reported to the principal. The principal then knows that, okay, these people were trying to buy something for this child and the money was eaten, then the principal should be able to take the initiative, or someone should be able to take the initiative. Let's say I am there, let's say you are there, let's say you are part of that school, let's say someone who is a Pan-Africanist is part of that school, and then we can act on those type of things. But negativity can't be the first question when we say let's do something and then you have a problem. That is the issue when we say Africans, let's learn how to speak Kiswahili. And then Africans say, but we are so many, why would we want to speak one language? We are so diverse in the languages. And then they don't have a problem with speaking English, but they have a problem with speaking an African language. Africans, they tend to be negative at first instant and join things later when things start moving. You understand? Some people are at Mkhonto Wesizwe because of the fire that is at Mkhonto Wesizwe. If you ask them why exactly, what is the principle, why did they join Mkhonto Wesizwe, they don't know. The same with the EFF. They don't know. They just like being around things that are moving. You understand what I'm saying? So I said now, when it comes to our social media and our whatever, let's have a Pan-African stance in things that we do. When we see things in our communities and we see things, let's tell people about Pan-Africanism. And when they ask you what is Pan-Africanism, you just tell them it's black unity. Let's simplify it like that. You say it's us as African people uniting with one another. So with unity comes a lot of things. You protect what you are united with. With unity, you love what you are united with. With unity, you support what you are united with. So just simplify Pan-Africanism like that. My goodness, guys, this life, people are Triple Z is too negative. Like I said, we don't want negative people. We don't want negative people. We don't want negative energy. It does not help us in any way, shape, or form. Now, I believe this week Mkhonto Wesizwe and the ANC will be meeting in court. They will be fighting this copyright issue, and the courts are going to decide also if Mkhonto Wesizwe is eligible to stand in the elections. Are they eligible to stand in the elections? Meaning, were they fraudulently registered in the IEC? The IEC cannot take that, because that will mean that will be very bad news for Mkhonto Wesizwe. King, most people are trapped in the concept of foreigners, which hidden the general overview of Pan-Africanism. Yes. I like what Julius Malema likes saying about foreigners and all of that, is that who is a foreigner? Where do we draw the line? You see, I always tell people, I'm not from Northern Cape. I came to Northern Cape because of the passing of my father, and my mother got a job, a transfer to Northern Cape. Yes, ago. I was still in high school. Yes, 2007. And then I landed in Northern Cape. Now in Northern Cape, especially in Kimberley, the most spoken language is Afrikaans, even amongst black people. But the Northern Cape people, not the Northern Cape people, the Kimberley people mixed Afrikaans with Xhosa and Tswana. So you find them speaking those three languages with English in one sentence. Like they're speaking almost like a Tsotsitan. Yeah, they call it Luat. It's a Keister language. So when I came here, I struggled with that language, and automatically I became a foreigner in my land. I'm still in South Africa, but because I can't speak this language, I then become a foreigner. Luckily, I could speak Afrikaans, because Afrikaans is the main language here in Kimberley. So you will, if we continue with this trend of foreigners, even if we kick them out, there's going to be people who are going to have a problem with a person from KZN owning land in Limpopo, or a person from Eastern Cape owning land in Gauteng. There's always going to be some form of racism when it comes to that. So, as Pan-Africanists, we must educate, especially our African brothers and sisters, to tell them, you guys carry the spirit of Pan-Africanism. They carry it more. Because once they start committing crime, once they start doing wrong things, Pan-Africanism is out of the window. South Africans will start doing xenophobic and rubbish things to try and neutralize those people. You understand? So the question is, who is the foreigner? And my question is, why is it that this Zimbabwean that is, let's say this Zimbabwean has taken your job as a security, or I don't know what job did the Zimbabwean take from you. Why is it that you are so angry at them, but you are not angry at the 7% Afrikaner who own 75% of the land? Why is it that they don't get that anger, but our African brothers get all the anger? That is my question. Who is the foreigner in our land? King, did you sign? Did you sign that petition to deport the Cape referendum party guy? To deport him, but I did not. I did not see to deport him back home. I did not see that referendum. There is you guys will see with the video that I'm going to drop. I guess I'm gonna drop it in the morning because I know we're gonna speak until late here. You guys are going to see how we as Africans can deal with other races strategically without deporting them, to a point where they feel they want to live at their own accord. It's the same way they dealt with Mmusi Maimane in the DA. Remember, Mmusi Maimane was not chased away in the DA. He resigned himself. After he resigned, he said it was no longer nice working at that organization. It was becoming too much for him. So there is ways of dealing with people without chasing them away. I mean, for even suggesting, listen, they are angry for who Konto Wesizwe and Bonginkosi Kanyile for saying, if you take us out of the ballot, there will be anarchy. But they are not angry at the person that's saying we want to make Western Cape its own country. What type of nonsense is this? Excellent view. In Western countries, are identified as a foreigner based on your skin color. In Africa, it's different. Yes. Wow, who's this? Nkosi. Wow. Yo. In Western countries, just based on your skin color, they know you are African. They don't ask, were you born here or whatever. Ask, if you want to know this properly, ask the French players who play for the national team. Ask them, they will tell you. They will tell you the level of racism they received. They get thrown with bananas, they called monkeys. If they lose a game, the French players, they blame it on the black players. Ask the French players. You understand what I'm saying? And also, go anywhere. You go to China, they know you're an African. You go to wherever, guys. This is such a beautiful analogy. You know, they know based on your skin color. They know this one is from Africa. Even if you say, no, I'm born here in Croatia, they know, yeah, you are born here, but originally your people come from what you call Africa. Have you guys read Genesis 25 verse 25? Go and read that Bible verse. Go and read that Bible verse, and according to me, or according to what I read or what I understood, that was the birth of white people. That's how it started, in the womb of Rebecca. Go and read that Bible. Always. Thanks so much. I'm out, family. Thank you so much. So that is what is happening when it comes to that. Because of you are black. Hi, Ephraim. Thank you so much for joining. Because you are black in your skin tone, you are then automatically called African. But the problem is, in South Africa, we don't even see the Dutch people, the Afrikaner people, as foreigners anymore. Even when they have their own South African ID, we don't see them. Yeah, I mean, when black people, a Zimbabwean gets married to a South African, they give birth to a black child, and that child is their roots are from a Zimbabwean father. You can see it with their appearance and stuff like that, or Nigerian or Senegalese. We still call them foreigners in our land, which goes to show that there is absolutely no love for one another as Africans. You understand what I'm saying? Now, Jacob Zuma has taken a stance and accepted an invitation from a white Afrikaner church. He went to that church. I did a video breakdown for you guys. I'm uploading immediately after we are done with this live link. But guys, let me say, I'll make it visible at 7 o'clock in the morning. So in the morning when you guys wake up, you will see that video. And Limpopo, where about in Limpopo? Rikoto, where about in Limpopo are you watching us? Limpopo is a big province. Previously identified as European in South Africa. Up until 1994, they never identified themselves as Africans. They never identified themselves up until 1994. You can go and check the pictures at the stadiums. You can check the pictures at the train stations. You can check the pictures in the suburbs. You can check the pictures in the cities. They were Europeans only, darkies, blackies only. There was clear signs where black people can go, Africans can go, and where Europeans can go. They identify themselves as Europeans. Yeah, man. Shangani land. Yes. I was Yamina. Yes, I'm from Guyana. I'll be in Guyana next week. Actually, I'll be in Guyana next week. My family is in Guyana. My grandmother is in Guyana. The Shongwan is, the last house at the mountain, at the top of the mountain. So Alberton, Johannesburg. I once fought there in Alberton, Johannesburg, with my boxing mate. Welcome, Jerry. Welcome. So what was I saying now? Yeah, picture quality is okay now, ne? Looks like the picture quality is okay. What was I saying, guys? This guy just got me excited now, talking about Guyana. And I'll be in Guyana to go and see my grandmother there next week. So they never considered themselves as Africans. It's so funny. It's only us that gave them that status in 1994. From 1994, we said everyone born in South Africa is an African. That was a mistake. That was a mistake. You go to America as an outsider, your green passport, your green identification, it tells you where you are from. It tells you exactly where you are from, and you will never forget that you are a foreigner in America. You will never forget it. They will remind you constantly in every place where you have to take out your identification. So as Africans, we need to unite. Now, I was coming to the story of Jacob Zuma. He went there to that Afrikaner church, and guys, you'll get the video, guys. You'll get the video. You'll get the video on that. For me, icon. And I do admit on the video that I do admit on the video that I might not have the political maturity to analyze other things because I am too Pan-African. You understand what I'm saying? There's other things that Julius Malema does, that Jacob Zuma Zania does, that ATM does, and I look at it and I'm like, man, no, man. Are these people really Pan-Africanists? Yeah, and then I come to a question where I ask, can a politician really be a true Pan-Africanist in this day and age? I ask myself, to say, no, man. But that does not make it right. Africa and America is wrong. It creates a sense of segregation. Even Africa, America don't approve. They are black Americans, not African Americans. Yeah, well, whether they don't approve of it or they approve of it, it does not change the fact. It does not change the fact. I hear a lot of black Americans ignorantly saying, I'm not African, I'm American. I'm like, oh, Shem, in your biggest dreams, you are African. I hear a lot of them. They say, I don't want to go to Africa. I don't want to see African. I don't want to be hanging around in the jungle, swinging around with the monkeys and walking with the giraffes and the lions. I am not African. I am 100% American. And my heart bleeds when I hear statements like that. When I hear a black person saying that, my heart bleeds. Like, these people will never consider you as one of them. It's like an African person, even if you marry a white person. And I think Musi Maimane was a good example for us to see, because Musi Maimane is a clear definition of what a coconut is. He even married outside his race and married a white lady, and I'm not going to speak anything about her, I don't know her, and had children with her and everything. So thinking that white people will accept him more because he has shown clearly that he's playing for the opposite team. Look how they dealt with Musi Maimane. Just take a look at how they dealt with Musi Maimane. My question is, should we as and maybe like I said, I don't have the political maturity to get into this discussion, but I want to hear you guys on the comment section. What are you saying? Should we as Africans who are taking back the powers and the strategic sectors, the government powers, administrative powers, the strategic sector, the minerals, the farms, the mines and everything, should we go into a negotiation with people who have colonized us? I want to hear from you as my fellow Pan-Africanist brothers. So let me phrase it better as you are still typing your coconut. And Cynthia, when I say a person is a coconut, for me, is a black coconut, Oxalai. You understand? Give me a shout out, please. Come on. K. Okay, K, I see you. Kedel King, Kedel. Okay, where is that name again? It's disappearing. Kedel Lee. Thank you so much. Shout out. Is the queen? Yes, my queen. Thank you so much for tuning in, my queen. Hi, Shaduki. Me. Yes. I see you, my queen. Welcome to King Said So. I want to know, if someone steals your land, if someone takes your minerals, if someone takes your farm, if someone farms with that farm and makes billions of rands, because mines make a lot of billions. White men here, yeah, well, they are always here on the comment section. Thank you, white men, for always coming here. So anyway, as long as you saw that you are not invited, it's fine. Black men here. Toby, thank you so much. So the question is, If someone steals your farm and steals your minerals and everything, and I want to know, my African brothers and sisters, should we negotiate with them when we take power? It is not ignorance, it's a geographic position. You are where you are born, and their nationality is American, not African. You're talking nonsense. Because we are here today because of these crazy negotiations. Nakere. Now, here's a true Pan-Africanist. Here's one true Pan-Africanist. Now, we are here today because of these crazy negotiations. Nakere. Africa leaders must minimize too much or much involvement with the private sector. Minimize. Okay, I think you wanted to say minimize. The connect session has been colonized. But no, we should be negotiating. However, the negotiation begins long before we have even born. That's the problem. Okay. Yes. So I also have this point of view that Nkosi is saying, to say these negotiations, they are the reason why we are not making progress. Because you have taken my truck. You have been making money with my truck. But now that I want my truck back, then we have to negotiate. But when you took my truck, you killed my father. When you took my truck, you took my land. When you took my truck, you changed my surname. When you took my truck, you changed the title deed. When you took my truck, you changed the ownership of the truck. But now that I want the truck, why is it that we must negotiate? You understand what I'm saying? Why is it now that we must negotiate? Are you with me, my African brothers and sisters? Are you with me? Why is it that African leaders feel the urge, the need to go and negotiate with people that are only 7% of the population? And remember, when you say white people are 7% of the population, you are not saying all of them are adults. You are not saying all of them are rich. You are not saying all of them are are owning land and having mines and all of that. When we speak about the white people that actually own this land and own, we are speaking about less than 2.8% of that 7%. Not all white people are rich. Only 2.87 last time I saw the stats was 2.8, let's say under 3%. Under 3% of the white people actually own mine, minerals, farms, and are actually rich. I got it. You understand what I'm saying? Do you guys understand what I'm saying to you guys? And you guys know my live feeds are always full of imbongolo. Wa ba itse mos ba phela ba tletse mo ba kwala ntweng eo nonsense mo, but la itse gore go bjang everyone. Yeah, I know. They'll always be full on the comment section. Everyone, if you're not asking any logical and intellectual questions, please shut up. I'm trying to learn. Opinions are like, but everyone has, yeah. So keep it to yourself. Thank you so much. Thank you so much for standing up for me, Dumisani. Let's negotiate with those that acknowledge that they have inherited, stolen, and are willing to relinquish it. Okay, then let's not negotiate with those that do not want to accept, and acknowledge or relinquish it. Let me see. Okay. Yeah, okay. I also have that thinking to say, okay, let's open the table. Let's open the table. When we say the state will own the land, the whole land, like the EFF says, everyone who owns more than 2,000 hectares, and in those 2,000 hectares, or it's less than 10 people that live there, meaning it's one family, come and negotiate with the state. Let us talk on how we're going to use that land and how the state is going to take some of that land. Let's negotiate. The negotiation means that in our negotiation, we are not going to take the whole land. We are going to speak to you. We might leave you with a stand so that you guys can stay there. Or if it is a farm and we are still leaving the farm into your hands, the government will own 51% of that farm. Meaning the government will then employ workers for your farm. The government will assist you in your farm. And the government will make sure your farm is running and well funded. But your farm is now going to trade and export according to the rules of the government. And those who don't want to negotiate at all, we take the land. Just like that. What are you waiting for? You understand? Yeah, how do you inherit a stolen land? It's crazy, man. You don't even hear our politicians speak about the land issue properly anymore. The only time they speak about land is expropriation without a compensation, and then they will say government will own the land. No. Can we remind our people how the land was acquired first by these people? Can we remind our people that people were killed because of this land? Wrong. We have a homeland, and if all come together, we can easily run it ourselves. I believe we can run our South Africa ourselves. I don't know why is it that African people don't think that we can run our countries. You see, other continents will find it hard to survive without Africa. They know this. That's why America has got armies in Africa. That's why China is mining in Africa. That's why Germany is mining in Africa. That's why France is mining in Africa. That's why the Indians are here in Africa. All of them run their big businesses from Africa because Africa is the future. But Africans don't see their own value. Africans simply don't think they can build their own Dubai. There is land, ladies and gentlemen. Northern Cape has got land to build a mega city that will be bigger than Cape Town and Johannesburg and more beautiful than both those cities combined. Because Northern Cape has got a seashore that is unutilized. Northern Cape has got land for residential areas that is unutilized. You understand? Negotiating what, King? We must have smart ways of taking them back and avoid sanctions. But we must be prepared to be sanctioned because we must take everything back. To isizwe esimnyama. Now, Awena Stanley, Awena man, I love you, man. Wena man, Awena, I love you, Wena man. Awena, I love you. When you're a true Pan-Africanist, Wena man. Phela mina besengicabanga ukuthi yimi engihlanyayo manje. Besengicabanga ukuthi mina yimi, I'm the bad guy. You understand what I'm saying? Once you get into a fight, like Stanley is saying, once you get in a fight with the West in mind, and I know this, I've been involved in many fights, especially in boxing. If you go into a fight and you say, if I die, I die. But in that fight, I'm going in with everything I have. This is what Stanley is saying. We must go in to try and avoid the sanctions. But if the sanctions come, let the sanctions come. If South Africa has to start from zero, let South Africa start from zero, as long as the land is returned to the people. This is what Stanley is saying. But South Africans, they are working at nice jobs now. South Africans have got nice cars now. South Africans are staying in the suburbs now. South Africa are staying in cities now. They don't want the land like me and you want it. Like us, the Pan-Africanists, they don't want it. Because there is too much, plenty of land, King, and most of it unused. We at 80% monopoly with 10% majority. You understand what I'm saying? So there is too much land, man. You can't tell me there's no land in South Africa. Sibancane, man. 62 million people. Sibancane, man. Even with our foreign brothers, we've got too much land in South Africa. But we don't have politicians that have the balls, man. Because we are prepared to say, if South Africa has to suffer, they say South Africa will be like Zimbabwe. So what? Let's go. Let's go, man. Let's go be like Zimbabwe. It's fine. As long as it means that we are no longer going to be colonized by these people. Don't forget, these banks are controlling our currency. You as a black person, when you buy a BMW and it's financed by a white bank, the white bank makes you pay more. You as a black person, when you buy a house that is equal to the amount that a white person buys, you pay more because you are black. That is what is happening in South Africa. When is this nonsense going to stop? Which politician is going to hear our cry? Are we children of a lesser God? Who's going to hear our tears? Who's going to wipe away our tears as Africans? That is what, for me, that is what Pan-Africanism means. Pan-Africanism means we can start from scratch, it's fine. If we start from scratch, remember China started from scratch, and in less than 50 years, China got their country in order. If we can start from scratch, it's fine. As long as 10 years from now, our mining sector will start blooming again. 10 years from now, our agriculture sector will start. Because remember, we have the minerals. And we don't have to work with America and Europe. We have China, we have Russia, we have India. Those countries never colonized any country in Africa. So we can work with them carefully so. Working with them, but ruling our land. You understand what I'm saying? Let's come together, open up our own black community bank and fund the EFF government so that we make sure that they are accountable to us. If we pay the government's official salaries, then we are able to demand that they stick to the agenda. Dumisani, I say, start an organization like AfriForum. Start an organization like AfriForum and make that organization so big that the government cannot ignore it. That the government has to constantly consult that organization when they are doing something. An organization like, what is that organization that helps with when there's a disaster happening? Is it Doctors Without Borders? Our government cannot act without that organization, Doctors Without Borders. They need them because they know the contribution that they have to the whole world, especially here in South Africa when there's a state of what you call a disaster, state of disaster that is happening somewhere, a fire, flood, whatever the case can be. Doctors Without Borders are there. They are the first people who are there before government even shows up. I say let's open organizations like that. You understand? That's why I said when we are opening Paseta, our school, it must be one of the institutions that we're going to open. It cannot be that we open a school, then we are okay with it. Let's show government how to run a public hospital. But that public hospital, let's build it as the community. And let's make sure our community forum is the one that employs every nurse, every doctor that goes into our hospital. Let's make sure that we build our own institutions, for God's sake. You understand what I'm saying? I don't trust these politicians. They've got too much international pressure that they subdue themselves in. They only have business here because there is no one local to do it. How can we say that? LLS. How can we say that? What business do the Indians have here that we cannot do? Remember, once you come and you do something, I can copy it easily. There is nothing that they are doing. And that's what they want us to believe. They want us to believe that they have the better technology, they have the better everything. We can also do those things ourselves as Africans. I promise you. Umpile says, oh, why are you not Umpile Mauto? Java makes a good point. However, it is a homeland, is the homeland enough? I don't think people in the township would have enough space unless we form cooperatives. Yes, the people in the townships don't have enough space. They must move. But they must move to a better place. So we must build the smart towns that we are talking about. You must build a smart town. Kimberley is not an advanced town. The only thing that is making Kimberley now a nice town is this university that they built. But I'm telling you, there is nothing nice in Kimberley when it comes to structure-wise. And outside Kimberley, you remember the nearest other town from Kimberley is 250 kilometers, which is Kuruman, which also has nothing. The next one is Uppington, which is 400 kilometers from Kimberley, which also has nothing. The next town after that is Springbok, which is 800 kilometers from Kimberley. Imagine what is happening in between those towns. Imagine what is happening in between those towns. So if you are in Northern Cape, you will drive from Kimberley to Kuruman, which is 250 kilometers without seeing a KFC. In the small little, I don't want to call them towns, townships that you're going to pass, you will not see a KFC for 250 kilometers. And depending on which direction you take in Northern Cape, you can drive 600 kilometers without a KFC, without seeing a robot, without seeing a proper anything, man. Without seeing a Shell garage, we shall see nothing. There is space in Northern Cape. There is space in South Africa. That's one thing I'm going to tell you. To hand that pays, the hand that pays is the hand that rules. Yes, I got that point that you are saying. Food is our less of our worries, especially Europe, unhealthy dishes. Yes. That's cool. It's the less of our. I was just making a point of how undeveloped these places are, especially the unhealthy dishes of European people can make ways to the original people of the land, and with God's will be there is a chance. I agree with it. And there is my I don't know what a brother who wrote in Arabic there. How am I going to read that? Man, food source. We just have to learn that and what not to eat and what to and what we can manage. Yes, I agree with that. King preach. I'm trying to preach. The comments are coming in. The comments are coming in. The picture is good. We need the land. We need the land, live on top of each other here in Cape Town. Hey, hi guys, we're living on top of each other, guys. This is messed up, guys. Blocks of flats. The reason why those other towns are doing it in London, in China, is because there's no land. Those people don't have space. But we have copied that model. Now we are living on top of each other. Luckily, we don't have earthquakes and serious things like that. Very much true. The practice is here in America. How about you focus on improving the education system so that the future generation are educated? You are preaching, you are preaching utter nonsense or whatever. Sizoblock wena, sizoblock wena. We don't play around here. So yes, we are focused on the education. That is why we are building Paseta. That's people coming in here not knowing what we are doing. Pan-Africanism School of Economics, Technology, and Agriculture. That's what we are doing. We are focused on the future generation, and our focus must be strictly on future generation. Everything that we do, we must do it with the future in mind. What our children going to do in the future? Because if we don't lay the foundation, the strong foundation, especially with our education, I mean, we are not even embarrassed that our education that our children get from grade 1 to matric, it's called the basic education. That is the embarrassment. Starting from scratch is changing the education sector. Yes, we must. We must change the education sector. No, you have to care less about the problem. No lies told happening now is the US, and we are being lied about to fools. Yes. Cynthia, what are you saying, Cynthia? You are right, King. We need to get our land back. We have to be prepared to lose everything so we can gain something. We can't live with fear. Our people are afraid of change. Our people don't see themselves existing without these white people. Gift of the givers. Oh, what did I say? Doctors Without Borders. Yeah, the gift of the givers. I think that's what I wanted to say. Excuse me, guys. I know you guys are more wiser than me when it comes to these names. People are afraid of change. I said, the government employs about almost 10 million people in South Africa, and the government is the biggest employer in South Africa. It employs more than the public sector. I said, if government employees take out 10 rand each every month, if they take out 10 rand each, we can build power stations every month. From scratch, we can build power stations from scratch every month and solve the ESCOM issue, but our people would not do that. Just at 10 rand. If you take 10 rand and multiply it by the 10 million people that are employed by the state, if they take out 10 rand every month from their salary, the problem of ESCOM will be over. Easily. That the government does not need to bail out ESCOM anymore. The people can do it, but the people are not doing it. How can we be part of the school? Okay. Yeah, Nkosi, thank you so much for that question. The school is slowly operating, slowly growing, not operating, excuse me. The first thing with the school was to register the logo. And I put out a word here on the YouTube channel. I said, guys, I need a logo. I need to register the school. We got a guy called Katlego. Katlego is the one that did the logo for us. Okay. Katlego is the one that did the logo for us. Katlego is the one that did the logo for us. He did the logo for us for free, the school. He said, like, King, I am a graphic designer. I will register the school for you. I will not register. I will do the logo for you. He did the logo for me. And then the next mission was to register the school. But before I even registered the school, I did not know what do they mean by private owned school. Is a school an NGO? What is going on in terms of what type of company do you register when you register a school? So I went to the Department of Education, went there and ran around for 2 weeks without any help. And finally, I got help from a lady called Miss Ndondolo. Miss Ndondolo, who is actually a boss, a director, gave me a form to register the school. She gave me the form and ran through the form for me. So I understood then what is required from us. Okay, so I went and registered the school with my money, registered a new company and everything, and made sure that our paperwork, SARS, everything it's on point. So the school is officially registered. Nobody can take the name away from us anymore. The Pan-Africanist School of Economics, because we need to focus on economics, technology, because without technology, there is no moving forward. If you don't understand what is AI, you don't understand how technology influences even the medical field, you will never understand anything in the world going forward. And the last thing is agriculture, because we need to know how to work our land, which includes mining. So the school is registered in that aspect. Okay. So now the next step of the school is allocating land and starting to build. So the next step of the registration is me forming opening a bank account. After opening a bank account, I will need to form a team of 5 people that are going to assist me in running the process going forward, because alone, ladies and gentlemen, it's impossible. I can't. You understand? Remember, this was just given to me as a vision to say, if you want to fix Africans, leave these old Mabogos and Madalas. Start with the children. Make sure that the future is bright. Make sure that the children of the future are given a fighting chance. Give them the tools to fight properly. And if you don't educate them in a group, as long as I'm still teaching my own child how to share, but next door they are teaching their children how to steal. The other next door they are teaching their children not to share. The other children next door they are teaching their children not to play with other children, and all of that. As long as our children are educated separately, they cannot unite. So we want to teach our children to unite in Paseta, at Paseta. You understand what I'm saying? So that's how, in a nutshell, the school came about. So we have registered the school. Everything is fine. Now I'm going for the holiday. Please allow me to go to the Easter holidays. When I come back, I'll do the bank account. After the bank account, then I need a team. There has been people from this YouTube channel that has emailed me and sent me pictures of their land. They say, King, I've got land. The land is under my family. We would love to donate the land to you, and then to your organization, to your school, and you can build the school in our land. Okay. That is good. So now after that, I did some consultation with some of the people, with my close friends, politicians, and all of that. And I came to a conclusion that I don't want a school that is too far from medical facilities. I don't want a school that is too far from airports. I don't want a school that is too far from towns. You understand what I'm saying? If it is agricultural land that we are getting, whatever, it must not be more than 30 kilometers, 40 kilometers from medical facilities and all of that. Someone stated some reasons for me that made sense in terms of that, in terms of taking care of our teachers, taking care of our learners. Again, another thing is that when you are a teacher and you say you're going to go to teach at Paseta, which is the Pan-African School of Economics, Technology and Agriculture. If you are moving with your family, you don't want to move to an abandoned land. You want to move to closer to town where your family can come and settle, and maybe your children, your primary school children go somewhere, because Paseta is a high school. It's grade 8 to matric. And make sure, and we are trying to make it from grade 1 to grade 12 so that our children don't get chance to be colonized with the colonized education and all that. So we want our teachers to be able to come with their family and able to live in that whatever town that we are settling in. You understand? I've got land to look at here in the Northern Cape. I've got land to look at in KwaZulu Natal. I've got land to look at in Limpopo and in Mpumalanga, no, and Northwest. So I'm not going to do it alone. I'm not going to do it alone. I'm going to wait until I have the team of 5 people that are going to travel with me to this land to check the land. So now when it comes to how can you contribute to the school, remember the school, there's different ways to contribute. Some of you are going to contribute financially. Some of you are going to be lectures there. Some of you are going to be our sports facilitators. Some of you are going to be our gardeners. Some of you are going to, the school is going to be total free. We're going to make sure that we get the funding for our learners to be in the school. So our children are going to be selected. We're going to select from the poorest background, to select to the middle class, select to the rich, and then select our few African brothers and sisters who will be here in South Africa, so that our school can clearly show Pan-Africanism. Because you can't open a Pan-Africanist school and then you don't have Nigerian children in there, Zimbabwean children. We are working on the future. Remember that. So we're going to have a mixture of that in the school when it comes to our learners. Going back to the contribution, we're going to have in our main hall a wall of fame with everyone's name that has contributed, from a pin, a broom, to anything. We're going to put names of Africans who have contributed to that school. We are not going to take any funding from non-Africans. We are not going to, we are going to build this school for ourselves. Even if China comes, listen to me very well, even if Russia comes, of which we don't have a problem with Russia and China because they have not colonized any country in Africa. Even if those two countries come and they say, we would like to build a school, we can build a school for you guys in 2 months, I am going to refuse that funding and that help, because I want it to be strictly built by Africans, strictly built. They can then come fund other programs of the school, it's okay. But when we come to the building of the school, every cent, every penny, every rand, every African dollar must come from Africans. So make sure you stick to the channel, because this is going to be an ongoing process. I don't know how fast God is going to assist us in this pursuit, but stick with us. If the school does not open next year, it's fine. The school will probably open the year after that, but it will go with God's plan. It's not, I don't have the knowledge and the power to do this alone. So I'm not going to pretend I'm a professor that does whatever. When I look at the requirements of owning a school, also the qualification and what I might need help, because I might need to study more and all that, in terms of what our principal needs to have and all that. But the owners of the school does not need to have qualification as such, but the principal needs to have a minimum requirement of this qualification and also the teachers and all of that. So I went through that process. So little by little, that is how we're going to start. And we are hoping that Paseta will not only be built in South Africa, but in other countries also. One Nigerian brother, one Senegalese brother, one Kenyan brother would say, guys, I've got land, let's build Paseta in Kenya, and we go and do the same. And what we want to do is make sure that our children are taught Swahili, and they can speak Swahili fluently, so that when our learners meet with the learners in Kenya and meet with the learners in Nigeria, they can speak one language that is not our foreign language like English. So yeah, when it comes to Paseta, don't get me started. I can speak the whole day. Now you are serious speaking my language. We must divert the millions wasted in religion organization every Sunday towards our own bank that will fund the project. Yes, yeah. When the same way Santon Square was procured by 1,000 entrepreneurs who contributed 1,000 each, which is 1 million. The black middle upper class can do the same. Yes, we can. We can build our own mobility. Crazy how the first light in South Africa were in Kimberley due to the diamonds mining. But now you say no further development. It's heartbreaking. My brother, I never understood why Kimberley is undeveloped. Kimberley is not only the city with the first light in Kimberley, it's the first city, period. The first city in South Africa is Kimberley. Kimberley built Johannesburg. The Diamond City built the Gold City. It funded the projects of going to what you call Johannesburg, for people like Johannesburg. Johannesburg is a person. We keep on forgetting that Johannesburg is a person and Kimberley is also a person. We keep on forgetting those serious historical facts. Those are people. It's not names of places. It's names of people, and those stupid names must be changed. You understand what I'm saying? So let me just read more comments before I come back to that. Government should done 3 decades ago, but all they did was to dish grants and doing. We're gonna fix that. It says block me. You're arrogant is filthy. Don't worry. Blocking you is for free. You don't have to ask twice. For that. I always, my African brothers and sisters, I always get Caucasian people coming here, throwing out their debt on the comment section. We are used to them by now. If you've been on my live feeds, you know what happens on my lives. What we want is people, Republic of Africa. I like that one. This will help and change the mindset of the people of Africa. Think in more patriotic ways to develop our new Africa. People, Republic of Africa. I like that so much. Sense will tell you that King is talking about the failures of the Black ANC. Yeah, well, they don't want to listen to that, but anyway. Nkosi, you must count me in. I have been a teacher for more than 4 years. I specialize in technology. I need people like this. Of course, you know, I need people like this, man. I need people like this. Yeah, well, technology. I need people like Abonkosi. Abonkosi, make sure you take my emails and you communicating with me, guys. Let me write my email there. Please make sure you're communicating with me, Nkosi. Jaban. Tumsane. I do foreign King, a Toloni and photo graphy, and I'm a big in African food crops. Wow. King, I have registered a health and wellness institution which focuses on institutionalizing indigenous African healing, African food, and ancient nature African. Yeah, but I just sent my email, Dimsani. Please take my email and communicate with me on email. This is where I meet people, man. I respect you for sharing your vision with such transparency and passion. Some visions only end up in the daily books and journals. I want Pedro Dlamini says Swahili is not an African language. It's like Fanakalo. Yeah, it is an African language. I understand what you're saying, Mr. Dlamini. Once I have a better finances, all for parts of the change. I'm here in the US, but I'm definitely wanting to live in my homeland around our people. I mean, thank you so much. Okay, that's all the comments. Let me see. Okay. Patrick Dlamini says Kiswahili is not an African language. It's like Fanakalo. And the reason why we are going for it is because of that Fanakalo. It resembles many African languages in that one language. It's easy to understand Kiswahili as long as you understand one of the Nguni languages. You understand? When you say I want to learn Zulu, uthi ngifuna ukufunda. And if you say funda, that funda will go for isiXhosa, that funda will go for isiNdebele, and that funda will go for iShona, and that funda will also go for Kiswahili. You understand? In Kiswahili, say nina ndinjo zifunza, funza, you say nza. Kiswahili, kidogo, kidogo. Kidogo, kidogo means little by little. So that all those things come together in one language. Because remember, we need a language where you can study from grade R up until varsity level. Just like what you can do with Afrikaans, studying from grade 1 up to university level. We need languages like that. So when we say Kiswahili, we are choosing a language that is mostly spoken in the entire African. It's the most spoken language in Africa, a black language, by the way, that is most spoken black language in Africa, and it's found in different countries, 6 if I'm not mistaken, 6 or 7 countries that can speak Kiswahili. So your foundation will be good. Just because Kiswahili is not spoken in the south, well, it is in a way, but in the south of Africa, deep in South Africa, Zimbabwe, Namibia, and whatever, we don't speak Kiswahili. It does not mean that we can't learn the language. And again, when Patrick Dlamini, when you say let's not speak Kiswahili, then you need to come out with another solution, because we are open for suggestions. If you say we don't speak Kiswahili, what other language must Africans learn that they can speak throughout the whole African continent? I'm waiting for your comment. Daimani, King said so. Mr. Dlamini is correct. Swahili has Arabic language in it. It is not an African language. Or go check the origin. I know the origin, my African brothers and sisters. I know the origin, and I understand I understand your point. I've researched this. I have researched this before. It has an influence of Arabic in it, but who is to say the Arabic language is not an African language? Who is to say the Arabic people, the original Arabic people, are not black people? You understand what I'm saying? So dismissing it like that is not valid for me. But anyway, I'm not going to be the one who chooses the one language that must be spoken by all Africans. I'm just saying um, most African languages know Zulu. No, that's not true. Who are you speaking about? You're speaking about most languages in the south, you mean? If you go into Central Africa, those people don't know a word of Zulu. They don't know what Sanbonani, Moloeni means. They don't know any of that. If you go to the west, it's west. Guys from Nigeria, guys from Senegal, guys from remember they were colonized different, and their languages are also different. So they speak uh, French and Spanish and all of that. So Spanish origins from Spain, but it's spoken amongst other Spanish nationalities. Association with their culture and language. Yeah, but why are we speaking about Spanish now? And I said, yeah, let's not get stuck. Let's not get stuck in discussing which language it is going to be. I believe linguists must sit down. People who understand language more than us. I like Kiswahili. Taura is Shona. Taura is Shona, Mbijana. So Swahili for me, it's a language that I like, and I like the fact that you can educate yourself with it from grade R up to varsity level. Zulu is the most spoken language at the moment. Zulu is not the most spoken language, guys. What are you guys talking about? At the moment, the whole world through Amapiano find themselves singing in Zulu. No, can't reason like that. Not Zulu. Swahili is the safest option. Okay, Africans, let's not get into the debate of language. We're not going to choose Kiswahili. We're not going to choose Zulu. When we sit down, I mean, we're not going to choose it here. We're not going to make up our mind here on which language. If it's Zulu, it's fine. If it's Kiswahili, it's fine. If it's Sotho, it's okay. Whatever language that is more advanced than other languages. So when I ask you a technological term, when I ask you what is a science term, what is an atom, you need to tell me what is an atom in your language. When I ask you what is the galaxy or the Milky Way in your language, you need to explain to me. Our children need to learn technological terms in that language. That's what I'm talking about. That language must be advanced in that sense. And also sometimes we have to add some names to the language to make it more educational. Education that's from grade R should not be called basic education, but rather be called Indigenous African Foundation Education. Yes, when you're too progressive, you are too progressive. When my reason for using Spanish is because no matter the origin of Swahili or yes, the language is still the language of our people, and we should know not only Swahili but others. Yes, of course. We're going to choose also another language to be a second language. So I agree with that. So at the school, as things stands now, as the founder of the school, I've decided Kiswahili will be that language. But who knows, when we meet, when I make the team of 5 people, they might say, no, man, King, let's teach our children Zulu. Let's teach our children Igbo. Let's teach our children whatever. For me, that's fine. But we need to structureize the organizations. There is some Pan-Africanist schools in Africa. I think there's one in Kenya. There is one in... Where's the other one? The Kenyan one just recently opened, actually. You remember Julius Malema was there. So we need to communicate with those schools and say, listen, school, we understand that you are also a Pan-Africanist. We are a Pan-Africanist school. We want to link each other with one language. Which language can that be? The children can learn in English. The children can learn with whatever language, because that's the foundation that they have already. But they need to learn an additional language that they can speak with their African brothers and sisters. And then at the correct time, there'll come a time where we say we are no longer learning in English. We are no longer learning in Afrikaans. We are learning in this language. And that time we would have developed our children enough. And maybe that time some governments would have bought in and introduced Kiswahili in schools as a third additional language, and then maybe it wins Afrikaans over, it becomes a second additional language and stuff like that. So let's not fight about the school now. I mean, the name of the language that we're going to speak, it's neither here or there. The point is we need to unite behind one language. And which language is that? If you say Zulu, it's fine, let it be Zulu. Let's vote for it. Let's make sure that when the people vote, we respect the vote, the outcomes of the vote, whether me and you agree with it or not. Excuse me. Excuse me. So yes, that's what we want to do. But we also want to build our own hospitals. Everything that the state is doing wrong, we want to show the state that we can do it better than them. It's very important to do that, ladies and gentlemen. So as long as the channel is still small now, we are almost at 20,000 subscribers now, but when the channel grows to 30,000, I believe next year most people will know the logo of Paseta next year, because from now on I'll be giving away the t-shirts of Paseta, starting the Facebook page, the Instagram page. Maybe I'll even open a YouTube page especially for Paseta, for the online classes, so that we can do some lectures before the school opens. We do some lectures, we invite our people, our Dumisani, to teach some things. We record it and we make sure that we edit it to the highest quality and make sure that we upload it on the YouTube channel as classes, that online classes that people can learn. That is very important. So that is what that is the direction I want to go. But of course, like I said, I do need help. I do need help. I'm just a nobody that has that has been given a goal, and I want to make sure that I execute that goal, and I'm very patriotic towards my African brothers and sisters. I don't care about other races. I don't hate them. I'm not concerned about them. I wish them no harm. I just want my African brothers and sisters to get what is due to them, and that is their land, that is their agricultural land, that is their minerals underneath their ground, and that is power of the country. What are your thoughts on changing the medical sector and making it include African indigenous healing methods? That should not be even a question for what you call, for a Pan-Africanist. It shouldn't be. Mbilo, it shouldn't be. That is the direction we must go. And to make sure that we put other people at ease, we science it. You understand? We package it better. Understand? Because our problem sometimes is packaging. Understand? But the way packaged the European colonized mind does not even want to drink that thing because of the way you are packaging it. But I see some companies are coming together. They are packaging their African herbs very well, very well. You see this thing, I can take it. You understand what I'm saying? So for me, it must go there. When we build our own hospital, imagine we build our own hospital, but every medication in that hospital is European. What? And we claim to be Pan-Africanist. What type of nonsense is that? Yeah? People will laugh at us. Claiming to be, they will call us coconuts. They say how we are brown in the outside, but we are white in the inside. We must change to African indigenous healing methods. We must, and it works. It works. Remember, all of these cancers and whatever came with these people. Those things, we never had them. We never had them. So we hear our parents were living longer. Our grandparents were living longer. My grandfather died, passed away last year, 92 years old. My grandmother still alive. My grandmother from my father's side is still alive. When Africans die young, it's prematurely. It's because of accidents, murders, and all of that. Not because of sicknesses, because of kidney stones, because of lung problems, and all of that. We had herbs that were curing these things, and God has given us those herbs, and we know the knowledge of it. So all we need to do is transfer that knowledge beautifully in a book so that the next generation can learn it. That's it. Interesting Pan-Africanist atmosphere. Let's grow the channel. I will send through an email. Nagata Bands. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. Send the email, Nkosi, and then we will see. We have been talking now for 2 hours, guys, and looks like the picture quality is also fine. I want to thank everyone for coming in, and want to close on the note to say, as Pan-Africanists, let's make sure that we show love where we can. Let's make sure that guys, Zulu is the most spoken language in South Africa, not in Africa. It's that Zulu is the most spoken language, and some people from other African countries call and understand Amapiano songs. Why are we talking about Amapiano songs? Plus, Zulu is easy to understand. Zulu is easy to learn. It's not a difficult language to learn, understand. So, please, my African brothers and sisters, wherever you are, speak about Pan-Africanism. Like, plant the seed in people's minds. To say, your friends, your family, speak about Pan-Africanism. When you see some acts that are not so Pan-African, speak about it and say, listen, what you are doing actually hurts us as Africans. And like, make sure that you are proud of being a Pan-Africanist. Voice it out. Let people see it on your WhatsApp status. Let people see it on your Facebook posts, Twitter, or whatever you guys call them, and make sure that we show unity at all times as Pan-Africanists, and also go into that deep thoughts where your ancestors can give you ideas on how to better our institutions. You understand what I'm saying? Let God speak to you. Let God speak to your mind, and let God give you ideas, and let God give you dreams, and see Dubai being built from scratch in South Africa. That thing, it should not fear us that we can build Dubai. It should not fear us. We should not fear and doubt ourselves that we can build a Dubai in South Africa. We can bring the sea in the middle of the country. We can do things that are unthinkable only if we dare to think about it and dare to attack it. But we have a limitation in our minds that is keeping us from executing these things. So let's start with that. Let's unite our people. Let's educate our children. Let's vote for political parties that can liberate our people. And let's make sure that life changes, my people. Like, start small wherever you are. Plant the seed. Remember the principle of seed time and harvest. Plant the seed. If you don't plant the seed, if you don't start that relationship, if you don't start that business, if you don't start running that 1 kilometer, if you don't start losing that 1 kilogram, if you don't start cutting that one plate out, or that one slice out, and whatever, I tell people that when it comes to losing weight, you start small, man. Start small. Plant the seed. But most African people, they just want an instant thing that is going to happen now. We are very patient. But we want, when we look back 30 years from now, 20 years from now, we must say, wow, we have come so far. And that is the important thing that must happen, my African brothers and sisters. Let's start small. Let's plant the seed. Let's invest the 10 rand. Let's invest our time. Let's invest our thoughts and everything. And let's make sure that we can push this Pan-Africanist thing little by little, and it becomes big. Number one, Peter Dlamini says, Africa is very proud culture. I don't see the changing from one other. You see, Patrick is one of those people that always they want to always come and impose a negative view first. Understand? If Africa can speak French, if Africa can speak English, and you say Africa has got many cultures, very proud cultures, why is it that Africans can speak English? Why is it that Africans can speak French? Why is it Africans can speak Portuguese, but they are very proud? You understand what I'm saying? Cynthia uthi silale kahle sonke siyabonga so the vision that we need to carry is a positive mindset. It's a positive mindset. Once someone comes with a negative mindset, and people with negative mindset, you look at their life, they don't achieve anything because they're always thinking of the worst that can happen. Why don't you buy a car? What if I get into an accident? Why don't you get married? What if my wife cheats on me? Every time their first reaction is a negative one. So I'm disappointed, Patrick, that we are speaking about Pan-Africanism. We are speaking about positive things, but there's nothing positive that is coming out of you. I'm very disappointed. I'm very disappointed that you are not learning anything from what we are saying. But I always say, I'm okay with this generation. My focus is the young generation, because with them I can still teach. With them I can still program. You guys, you old people are already programmed. There's no changing you guys. You don't. Tsonga people are speaking every language. I'm Tsonga myself. I speak every South African language. There is no language I don't speak in South Africa. I speak Swahili, I speak Shona, I speak a little bit of Portuguese. I learned languages. I love languages. But Tsonga people are like that. The Tsonga and Venda people learn other people's languages easily. It's only other cultures that I'm not going to learn. Name that don't want to easily learn other people's languages. They struggle with the words. But when we come to children want to learn easily. You teach a child how to speak Pedi, they want to learn instantly. You teach a child how to speak Chinese instantly, and with the children they can memorize the words better than adults. You understand? And if you teach them in a group, it will be easy for you to teach your children. So we have spoken, guys, for more than 2 hours. If I can get 2 or 3 good nights, I've already got one from Cynthia. Thank you so much, Cynthia. If I can get 2 good nights, and then I'll be on my way. We'll be meeting each other Thursday again here on the live link. Thursday. I read all your messages, my brother. I read all your messages, and it's not. I'm not attacking you. I'm attacking the thought of thinking that Africans cannot unite behind an African language. I'm not at all attacking you as a person. I don't know you. I'm just saying Africans can speak an African language. And I'm saying, let's keep the positive energy. That's all I'm saying. Nkosi has said, Nkosi is going to send me an email. Nkosi is going to send me an email. Or it's Nkosana that is going to send me an email. And thank you so much. I'm not, please don't take offense, my brother. We are sent. Okay, thank you so much. Please make sure that we keep the positive energy in everything that you are saying. You understand? I think wording things differently is important. If you say something like there's many cultures in Africa, it will be difficult to change into one language, but I think it's possible. You see, you have opened the channel of the possibility. But if you say, imagine telling a Zulu person to learn Tsonga, or a Tsonga person to learn whatever, you are closing the possibility realms. Understand? So my apologies if you took any any offense, Dlamini. It was not my intentions. But when I see something as a Pan-Africanist, I must address it, and I want Pan-Africanists to learn to do that. When you hear someone saying something that does not go with Pan-Africanism, address it there and there. Don't save it for next time. I'm not going to see Dlamini next time. I'm not going to meet Dlamini. So me and Dlamini are meeting each other here. So we need to be friends here, because when I see someone attack Dlamini, I must protect Dlamini. And when I see someone attack Pan-Africanism, I must protect Pan-Africanism. So thank you so much for tuning in, guys. Today's live was actually smooth. Compared to the beginning when the picture quality was bad. But I thank you so much for everyone for tuning in. I want you guys to know that God loves you and God has a purpose for your life, and you guys can actually make it in your life. If there is no millionaire in your life, I believe that you are going to be the first millionaire in your life. And I believe that people will speak about your contribution to South Africa and to Pan-Africanism long after you're gone. Stick with us so that you can make that contribution, and make sure that you make the contribution that you can make in as little possible steps as you can in your community. Peace in Pan-Africanism. Peace in Pan-Africanism. Until we meet next time, don't forget to pray. And after you pray, make sure that you stand up, African child. Do your best so that God can do the rest. I'll see you guys next time. I salute you.